Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So we are less than a week away from the big fight, August 3rd, from the BMO Stadium, Los Angeles, California. Terence Bud Crawford versus Israil Madrimov. $79.99 is the pay-per-view cost. So make sure you go and buy the pay-per-view. I'm doing my promotional thing here. I'm promoting. Now, I want to talk about a recent video that I just saw. It kind of ties into some things that I've been saying in the past in regards to Terence Crawford and Israil Madrimov. Madrimov, as I mentioned to you guys before, he's a big guy for 54, or at least he's a big guy in comparison to some of the fighters we've seen at 147 pounds. Madrimov makes a lot of mistakes. We just recently heard Bomac mention that, you know, he's a dangerous fighter, but he better keep his hands up. And that's something that I've noticed. I think other people have noticed as well, is that sometimes Madrimov will keep those hands low. Sometimes when he's backing out, he's pulling straight back. Sometimes when he goes to the body, he's wide open for some counter shots. And with Terence Crawford being a counter puncher, that could prove disastrous if he's going to the body, similarly to what we saw with Errol Spence. But he also has some positive attributes as well that could lead him to victory on August 3rd. And those positive attributes are the ability to counterpunch. He actually slips shots and throws punches as well. He has a pretty good pull counter as well. But I would say most importantly is that he's a big, strong, strapping guy, 29 years old. And with him being 29 years old and strong like that, this is going to be a formidable opponent for Terence Crawford, because it's going to be a guy that's coming to the ring that's at his best weight class. And he's going to be ready to go. You know, I don't think he's going to be compromised in any way. So in that regard, he could be dangerous. Now, Terence Crawford is the foregone favorite in the fight. We all understand that. And he should be, because he's the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. But this recent video that I saw on someone's timeline, it's interesting to me because, again, it ties into that perspective of Terence Crawford is the guy that's moving up, and Israil Madrimov is the natural 154-pounder. And as mentioned by his trainer, Diaz, he actually probably walks around in the 170s or so, maybe high 170s, and comes down to fight at once. So he's a big guy. Terence Crawford in this video, in my personal opinion, he looks small in comparison to what we've seen from Israil Madrimov in his training. Crawford was just kind of showing his physique and showing how ripped he is. And he looks like he did when he was at 147. And quite honestly, I would have thought that Crawford would look a little bit, you know, thicker, if you will. Pause. No diddy. But I thought he would be thicker in his upper chest and shoulder area. No diddy. But he still looked the same way he did to me as a welterweight. So I'm going to share this this video real quick, and then we'll talk about it. But he looked welterweightish to me. Check it out. So this is the video, and let me go ahead and play this video quickly.
Go tune in. Easy money. For division. Go tune in.
For my blood homies.
Easy money, man.
Now that was the video. And of course, Crawford looks ripped. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he looks shredded. He looks ripped up. We see the six pack and everything like that, but I just feel like he looks small. And I know Crawford is a strong guy. Every fight that he's been in, he's appeared to be the stronger man in the ring. And that included Errol Spence. And we've heard the Danny Garcias of the world, the Sean Porters of the world talk about the strength level of Errol Spence. And Terence Crawford looked like the stronger man in the ring that night to me. Now, whatever reason you have for why you believe that's the case, that's your opinion, that's your business. But he did look like the stronger man in the ring that night. But Israil Madrimov, just based off of some of the things that Joel Diaz has said, he was recently on Pro Box talking about Israil Madrimov, and Madrimov is a strong guy as well. Madrimov also comes from a wrestling background, right? Don't pick at me how I say. I say wrestling. Okay, I'm from the South. Wrestling. I don't say wrestling. I say wrestling. So don't pick at me because I'm Southern. But he also has that background. You know what I mean? And so with that background, he's a strong guy. He appears to be a strong guy. And I don't know if that's necessarily going to be an advantage for Terence Crawford going into this fight. That's why I expected Crawford to be a little bit bigger. Now, we haven't seen him at the weigh-in yet, and so that's interesting. I like to see him at the weigh-in first before I make an official fight prediction, because the weigh-in can tell a lot. And we haven't had the opportunity to see each man stand next to each other. But just based off of the videos and the pictures that we've seen of Israil Madrimov in camp, and then this recent video of Terence Crawford, Madrimov to me has looked massive. Like, he looks like a big, massive guy. You know, am I supposed to pause? No diddy. I get confused by when I'm supposed to say that or not. That confuses me. But he looks like a solid dude. And based off of everything that we've seen, he packs a punch. Now, I've told you guys that, and you know, I'm gonna make my official prediction, and I'm gonna place a bet on this fight. Terence Crawford is the favorite going into this fight, and he should be, because there are a number of things that Israil Madrimov does that is tailor-made for Terence Crawford. But the thing that I said about Israil Madrimov, and the way that I believe that he could possibly come out victorious in this fight, is he has to punch with Terence Crawford. Israil Madrimov does have he kind of has this little tricky movement where it would appear that he's about to punch. And if he can do that and then try to bait Terence Crawford into punching and punch with Crawford, he has a shot. The other thing that I think he would need to do in order to have success against Terence Crawford is try to close that distance as quickly as possible. And that's one of the things that David Evanesian did against Terence Crawford. He actually he kept a real tight guard and came up, and he was kind of awkward with some of the punches that he threw, sometimes leading with a right hand and not setting it up. And every once in a while, he was able to catch Terence Crawford. And I think that was partially due to the fact that he was able to close the gap in a lot of those situations. So I think Madrimov is going to have to capitalize on that. I think he's going to have to be extremely disciplined. But if he's a stronger man in the ring and Terence Crawford can't hurt him on fight night, man, that could lead to a very, very, very interesting fight that I think a lot of fight fans will enjoy. I think it will be an exciting fight, to be quite honest with you, because now we're looking at an opponent that Terence Crawford is not just going to hurt that easily, which I'm not sure if Crawford can punch, so he might be able to, who knows. But if that is the case, now you're kind of on pins and needles, because you're wondering if the guy can catch Terence Crawford. And so that could possibly make the fight interesting. So you guys tell me what you think in the comments section in regards to this. Terence Crawford, did he look big to you? Did he look a little small, considering he's moving up to 154? Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and I am out.